UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Yes, a very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. We thank you so much for following all our work and especially the news, programs and everything that we produce for your consumption. And welcome to this week's edition of One-on-One with Michael Jordan Lukomwa. This time round, it's politics peke yake because that's what is trending. We are in the mid of general elections 2026, both presidential, parliamentary, local government campaigns are ongoing at all levels, and it is getting real boiling. And our duty is to give a platform in terms of the candidates to say what they really want to do for us, and for us the voter, or you the voter, to get to know what these people have in store for us. Oyam district is one of those districts in northern Uganda. It has a woman MP and 2 constituencies. This time round, we have one of the candidates of Oyam South, one of those people that think they can represent the people in that constituency better. So we want to know what exactly she has in store for these voters and what makes her believe that among the candidates there, she is the best. Queen Dorothy Amolo is the candidate we have this evening, and we want to get to know her and exactly what she thinks she brings on the table as MP for Oyam South if voted. You're most welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you? How are the campaigns and the whole terrain so far?
First of all, I am fine. And I have been in the country, I think, for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Maybe 3 weeks now. And yes, the field is good. I'm very optimistic that this time we're going to win with a landslide. The people are preparing. You know, we start campaigns on Monday. And so we're starting from a bare sub-county, and everybody is just, you know, waiting to see Queen Dorothy Amolo. A lot of people know me by name, but they don't actually know, they haven't met me face to face.
Okay.
So there's anxiety about, you know, we want to see the Queen.
Let's start with Oyam South itself. What kind of a constituency would you describe it to be?
Of course, when I talk about Oyam South, it's identical to Oyam North, Oyam district as a whole. We have farmers. A lot of people do not commercial farming, but subsistence farming. There is a lot of poverty. But then when you look at the poverty in Oyam, everybody has at least some piece of land. Majority of the people have some piece of land for farming. And they have their goats and they have their cows. And they have
some gardens.
So we can say they are 100% poor. They have something to help them survive, and they're hardworking. The farmers produce a lot, but then at the beginning they sell their produce to the brokers, you know, the produce buyers, at a very, very cheap rate because the government has not regulated the, you know, price of produce.
Okay.
So that people produce and then they sell them at a cheaper rate when there's a lot of produce on the market. And then when the produce is kind of reduced, the people have already sold what they produced. And therefore they start buying from the produce man.
Okay.
And a lot of people are struggling to send their kids to school. Definitely there are some people that can afford private schools. There are those that can, you know, afford to take their kids to the government schools. And then there are those that can't afford. So the kids are staying at home and the kids are dropping out. Education in Oyam is a catastrophe. I think there's supposed to be a complete overhaul. We need to go back to the drawing board because I think Oyam is one of the worst performing districts in the country in terms of education. Healthcare is a catastrophe. There are very few health centers. And then there are ambulance services. It's almost just because the politicians improvise for the people. And the health centers that are available are literally ghosts because they don't have enough personnel to serve the people, and they don't have the drugs. So also in the health sector, there is supposed to be a complete overhaul. We have to go back to the drawing board and see what really went wrong. Now, Oyam district doesn't have any single tarmacked road that belongs to the people. We have one main road from Kampala to Lira and to Gulu, but those are, business roads. We cannot say those roads belong to Oyam. Yes, they pass through Oyam district, but they don't belong to
But those
Oyam.
roads that connect the ordinary person
The roads
to
that
their
connect
towns.
the ordinary persons are in sorrow states. And when you look at it, there is no single tarmac road in Oyam.
Yes, you talked about the subsistence agriculture and the low level at which it is practiced. Would you blame the levels of poverty to that? Or there are other factors that could explain the poverty levels in Oyam, especially the constituency in which you're interested?
First of all, there's just lack of opportunities. The people of Oyam would want to do something that bring in money. I don't want to dwell and keep saying that, oh, we had war for 20 years, because that is long gone. We've had 20 years of peace, all right? So what have we done to get ourselves out of poverty? There's just lack of opportunity. The people you produce, most of them are subsistence farmers. So being a subsistence farmer, most of the activities is farming. And then there is a lot of drinking because farmers produce, and then in the afternoon, they go to the trading centers and then they drink their lives away. So lack of opportunities, and then the fact that they're just subsistence farmers and their goods are sold, their produce are sold at a very, very cheap cost that can't really do anything after somebody has worked so hard to produce, something, and then it's bought very cheaply. They can't even use that budget, appropriately because there's nothing left after they've paid the school fees and, use some little money for themselves.
Okay. So poverty is based on that?
Yeah, lack of opportunities, just farming. And then the result of farming is useless. Like, there's no outcome from whatever they farm.
There is some semblance of development around Lira city. These are just not so many kilometers from Oyam. How come there are people in Lira that are moving a step and a step back in the lives of the people in Oyam? What could explain that gap?
You realize that Oyam district is, first of all, a new district, and then Oyam district is a rural district. Lira is the capital of Lango, and Lira has not even developed to the level of other capitals of other
Regions,
you see. So Lira is still very, very backwards. Lira attained the status of a city not so long ago.
around 5-7 years.
So when you go to Lira, the roads are still really bad. Education, the outcome of all these exams that are done, it's still really bad in Lira. But within the city, you realize that people come from all other districts of Lango. And then they're in the city because it's a business center. But that does not mean Lira is doing better than all other districts, because the city center has a lot of businesses and business people.
There are some opportunities to run after.
Of the city itself or of Lira district, the poverty level is almost to the level of that of Oyam. So northern Uganda and Lango sub-region has lagged behind for several reasons. And I am NRM, but I'm not afraid to say that partly the government has not equally distributed resources like it has in other parts of the country.
You talked about education, where you said it's despicable. The health center, you said, is not doing at all anywhere near good. Do you blame this to government still?
Not 100%.
Who else to take the blame?
The people themselves, the leaders, and also the government. The reason why I blame the people, first of all, you see, we're taught government of the people, for the people, and by the people. The people of northern Uganda and the country at large have not taken responsibility of government by the people. Because government by the people, you create jobs for yourself. Government by the people, you fight to end corruption. Government by the people, when you're employed by the government, you go to school. Teachers are not reporting to school regularly. When you're employed, like governance by the people, we've abandoned that responsibility. And then when it comes to voting, they're voting in leaders that give them something. So like they sell their votes for something little, and once you have a transaction, you sell your votes, it's done. You've already sold it. You don't expect anything to come out of it.
True.
Because you sold that single vote you had. So the people carry a lot of responsibility in the situation of the people of the North. But then you look at the leaders that we have.
Good.
The leaders of Lango, majority of them can't even speak good English. Some of them are not even highly educated.
Really?
The ones that are highly educated, they literally cannot comprehend. They cannot express themselves to represent the people. So then the leaders also don't care. They're divided. You see, some of them majority of them are fighting each other. They're fighting each other politically. The Lango sub-region has to
Because
wake
I
up.
was going to ask you,
Yes.
this is an area with big names, even in government systems. How could we have such a state of affairs in the growth of the people, in the social system and development of the area?
When we have leaders, for example, the Lango Parliamentary Caucus,
Yes.
there is no accountability. The people don't know what is happening. The people don't know what the office of the Prime Minister has sent to the people. The people, for example, look at the roads. The roads in Oyam, in Otuke, in Amolata, there is no single good road. For example, right now, as we speak, Lira to Otuke is impassable. You cannot actually navigate to reach there using a car because you're going to get stuck and spend days. But you know what? The government sends literally 1 billion shillings every year.
To every district.
To every district. Where does the money go? The members of parliament are the committees in these road
Districts, yeah.
Yes, road districts. There is no proper accountability. You realize
And
that
they have a duty to follow up.
Yes, they have a duty to budget, to apportion the money.
Yes.
They have a duty to decide on which road they're going to fix and how they're going to fix it.
And even follow up.
Yes, and follow up, and also, approve the money.
I totally agree.
But when you look at their committees, a small committee where nobody knows what's going on. And then the roads remain really bad. And just look at the education system. No one is talking about it. Our leaders are quiet. The people are alone. They are abandoned. So yes, I blame the leaders that we have elected. That's why we're saying, if you have never seen your leader in parliament talking on your behalf, no, it's time to kick them out. Because they have become comfortable, they've become serial politicians, and they've become serial liars. They're not helping the people. We need people that are ready to bring about the solutions, development of Lango, someone who cares about Lango and about the development of Lango.
Of the people at the grassroots.
Yes. And then let's talk about the government. The government has also failed Lango. Because yes, in the beginning, Lango opposed this government a lot. And we can understand because Lango had a president. And then that president was out. And of course, they still had this attachment to the glory that they had before. But that is not a reason. When you are in government, you are a father. You have some children that are opposing and others that are loyal.
But they're all your children.
Your children. So, yes, of recent, Lao has really come on board to support this government. But when you look at it, it surely has how many members of, how many ministers? Several ministers. Lao has 3. Teso has several, big name people. Lao doesn't have. Lao has really lagged behind in terms of development, education, just name it. We are just behind.
Would you really dissociate the impact of the war from the slowness of the development in the area?
The war in northern Uganda was not in every district. Oyam district suffered. The people were disorganized. Part of Lira was disorganized, not the entire city, not the entire district. A patch was not touched by the war.
Okay.
I don't think Amolatar was touched by the war. Maybe partly Kole, but I'm not very sure. Leptong and Otuke were affected. But how come those districts have not done much to surpass the districts that were affected by the war for 20 years? And then I'm not a person that keeps dwelling on the past. I'm a person that moves on. We've got to be able to move on from the war. And when you look at it, the people of Lango are still saying, oh, 60 years ago or 40 years ago, the Karamojong came and took the cows of our grandfathers. Yes. Those cows belong to your grandfathers. The Karamojong didn't take your cows. You who are here alive.
You should have cows.
Yes, you didn't have the cows. Why are you blaming?
How much have you done to own?
Yes, to own, to be responsible for the poverty, for the lack of development in Lango, you know? And the people of Lango have this thing. They're waiting for the government to do something. I am a product of self-made. The government sponsored my education at the university because I passed extremely high. I was among the best in the country in A level. And then I studied on government scholarship. But how many people are willing to give it their best in Lango to say, yes, I'm going to complete my education, I'm going to study extremely hard, I'm going to get in a government scholarship, because government scholarship, it's a cut-off point. You have to work hard to achieve it. How many people have left their comfort zones, have left the issue of blaming the government for everything and decided to achieve? I can tell you today, the people who decided to do it by themselves, because you are the government. Government of the people, for the people, by the people. Why haven't you started car washing? I always tell people, Queen Dorothy Amolo, if I get so broke to the extent that I only can borrow 50,000, I'm going to start my business to make porridge, because that is where I can start from. But we are so afraid to do something because now we have a bachelor's degree. That paper cannot turn into money. We have to open our eyes and do something. It doesn't matter whether you have a PhD or you have something. Start something. Create a job for yourself and create a job for another person.
This is a place that once had the governance of this country. Why do you think it did not see development like we would expect?
Dr. Milton Obote was in government for a very short time. Remember, he took governance from the British.
Yes.
That was just a new system. We were not even aware of what goes on. Milton Obote, he just maneuvered. He literally just gave birth to policies and he wanted to look at the entire country. Yes. When you see the things that he did, he never focused on northern Uganda because he comes from there. Yes. If anything, people accuse him of abandoning the people of northern Uganda and making sure that development is spread in the rest of the country or all over the country. So, yes, Lango, we pride ourselves that we produced the first president or the first prime minister. But because the country was so young, and because every leader that came in, they were trying to figure it out. And especially Obote, Apollo Milton Obote, was figuring it out for the first time. We can't blame him for not developing his region.
The whole team was learning on the job.
They were learning on the job. It was the first experience. And so every leader, even right now, President Museveni is being blamed for not developing other parts of the Western Uganda. But you see, the people are the ones that actually make ending corruption, eradicating corruption very difficult, because they are the participants in all of these vices. So if we started doing our jobs as citizens, you see, for me, I have to tell the truth. I don't care who gets hurt. This is, the people of Oyam would want me to say it nicer. No, I can't. I can't sugarcoat it.
Actually, I am observing that you seem to hold the view that our wellness is a citizen's responsibility.
Yes.
With the nature of politics, yes. Are you strong enough to have this as your message to the voter? And do you see that taking you anywhere as a leader, in as far as winning elections are concerned?
What leaders have failed to understand is that the people want the truth. We have to open the eyes of our people. My message in 2020, when I came in the country on December 23rd.
Yes. Elections
were going to be held on January 12th. I was on the campaign trail for literally 2 weeks. I told the people, we can create our own factories. We can do this. We don't have to wait for the government to do it for us. And my message made me a household name. The people need a direction from their leaders. The leaders should stop lying to the people. Now you see me, I'm self-made. I make my decisions, I say my piece. And I want to make sure that by the time I am dead, I will have already told my truth without
idea that you come with from
that
whatever.
you come with, and you've not even been on the ground, and you think you know what they want? No. This time I'm saying, what can I do for you? What do you want me to do when I go to Parliament? And they are so excited about it. But before, when I told that idea to a few people, they said, no, you're gonna, this is bad. I said, no, it's not bad. If you, for example, if you go and ask your wife, baby, what can I buy for you during Christmas? There's that one thing your wife has wanted that you don't know. If she tells you that this is what I need, that is going to be the best gift ever. So for me, I'm giving the people of Oyam.
Than you wandering around town and come back with what she
doesn't want.
Yep.
What she doesn't need. All right? So what do the people of Oyam South need? That is what I'm going to do. I'm going with my papers. I'm going with my computers. I'm recording. If the village of Zambia, if the parish of Zambia says, in Zambia, we have a problem with elephants eating our crops. We have this problem. We need water. We need that. That is the problem. That is the issue of Zambia that I'm going to tackle. But you realize the people of Loro Trading Center need something completely different. Those are businessmen.
With the role of an MP, legislation, allocation of budgets here, in this house near us here, and follow-up of government programs, how will you be able to effect these kind of ideas that you have that sound very beautiful and without a budget? Because all the government has for an MP is their salary and some allowances.
First of all, the resources, people underestimate the capacity of the government. All you need for us, we studied sitting down on the ground, on the floor. What you need, teachers motivated. I need to see English being spoken in school from the time somebody steps on the school compound to the time they get out. I need to see spelling bees. I need to see debates. I need to see children going towards learning and achieving, not the things that don't matter. I want to have enough books in school, and then teachers motivated, and then prefects enforcing what needs to be enforced. That is all I need. I don't care whether you sit on the floor or you sit under the tree. What is a school? What are you learning?
The content.
The content. Because that is what matters. I'm going back on the drawing board to use the budget we already have. And then when I come to Parliament, I'm telling you, no one brings a budget on my table and I don't slash it by 50%. Because every budget you see in Uganda, it's over-exaggerated. It has things that are not important. These budgets are just, if I were a minister of finance, I am telling you my oversight, my budgeting. The ministry is budgeting, for example, they say, oh, this time, the central government, we need to give the people of Oyam this agricultural program. No, that is not what they want. You let the people know. You ask them what is it that is so dire that we need to solve. And then you come back and plan for it. But the people that are planning for districts have not been in those districts. They're comfortable in their air-conditioned houses. They don't know what's going on. And then they're busy allocating.
Even worth holding on to, you got to tune into Unlocking Marital Bliss. Because right here we provide the keys to unlock the bliss in your marriage, and you will be able to succeed. We've had testimonies, and lives are changing day by day.
Marriage must be a discipline. It must not be handled like a casual thing.
As women, when we have the outward expression, even our form of respect is tied to the outward things that you do.
Some women now have working class. They don't know how to handle their husbands because the marriage has become like question and answer marriage. Do you have any tea? Don't you have hands to prepare it? Why have you come back late? Did I take your blanket? It's question and answer marriage.
Not any other place, but every Sunday, 3 p.m., right here at UBC with the one and only Cyrus Rod, not any other.
Unlocking marital bliss.
Do you hear it? Do you see it?
In Uganda, Tanzania.
That's the sound of business in a developing economy.
For UBC News,
Charlotte Amoge in Kampala.
Catch the weekly business roundup every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. only on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.
Experience in the 2023 primary elections under the NRM when my good friend Honorable Charles Okeleng-Ola passed away.
Oh, yeah. May you so rest in peace.
NRM members that showed interest to replace him in Oyam North. And it was discouraging because at the beginning we were encouraged that NRM wasn't going to front any particular candidate. And so we thought, okay, then the voters can choose.
A number of you were called to express interest.
Yes, we were called to express interest. We expressed our interest. We went to the voters. It was an experience, to die for. And then at the last minute, one day to primary elections, the Secretariat decided they wanted the son of my friend Okeleng-Ola. And because they said that in the entire country it was a history, only the relative of the deceased goes through. And I was like, but my friend is not, the candidate you're choosing right now, the aspirant, is not popular. He's not going to win. And they told me that, don't worry, we have pushed weaker people than this candidate. And I said, but you guys are going to lose. And NRM is going to lose. And they assured me that they're going to win. So I didn't bow out. I said, I'm going to run on independent ticket because I had foreseen that this person is going to lose. I was the person with the most, votes, if you call it, people, the citizens.
You believed you were stronger than the son to...
Because the government, and I understand their position, they wanted to reward the fallen hero with a position giving it to the son.
A continuity of his seat.
Yes, just like they said for one term. I understood that. But I felt like I would have given a better representation, a continuation of my friend's
legacy.
Yeah, legacy, because we were doing a lot of things together. But then when my mother pleaded with me, I was actually a few minutes away from the Electoral Commission offices. I had verified all my papers. I had already even paid the money. But then what really happened, when my mother pleaded and asked me if I wanted to end her life, if there was one thing I would have done for her, she needed me to do one thing, step down. I did that for my mother because she's been a lot of things in my life. She's someone.
She is your mother, in capital letters.
And a single mother that raised me and had only one request: leave it alone, let it go. So I said, okay, Mama, I give up. So I turned around and went back. But I felt like the party betrayed me, betrayed us, because we had prepared for it. We were ready. I was ready. My voters were not happy. And so I decided that I'm not going to do it again.
Do what? Contest for the flag?
For the primary again. Yeah. It wasn't, there's no guarantee.
But I would think this time you had now a bigger justification for coming to contest for the flag.
No.
Because
I already knew.
Had issues.
Yes, had issues.
Don't you think it now affects your candidature? Because, and this brings me to this, Oyam as a district and Lango as an area, it is a UPC grounded political kind of territory.
No, I disagree.
The only person the only party that has now come closer is now the NRM. So the belief countrywide is that in that area, if you're not UPC, at least be NRM. When you are neither, where does this leave you?
Oyam people have not been voting political parties. The Oyam people have been voting individuals. NRM was in Oyam North for, I think, over 10 years under the leadership of retired, the late Colonel Okelengola. Yes. And now it is UPC because of the mess that my party created by not having a free and fair election that the people approved. So then the protest vote went to the UPC lady. But that year, the NRM was actually going to win if they didn't mess up in the primary elections. So you see, let me tell you, the NRM candidates could be winning in Oyam, but the primary process is always very, very atrocious. The people, they don't give the people the candidates the people want. The leaders fight the stronger candidates. And so, because the stronger candidates do not have alliances, they don't bow down to the other people. I'm going to say this was really wrong. A leader should not do this, because for me, I'm not loyal blindly. My loyalty comes with honesty.
With reason.
You deserve my loyalty. And it doesn't mean I don't love you when I tell you the truth. I still love you, I still respect you, but you're going to have to do the right thing.
I want to take this with clarity. Are you saying the NRM is stronger than UPC in that area?
The NRM is stronger than UPC, and I can say this with certainty. You see, my sister, the minister, Betty Amolo,
yes,
she was both NRM and UPC. But she was winning until I showed up, and she realized, okay, this independent. By the way, in the last election, I won. And I cannot, I'm not shy to say that my votes were just rigged. I won with a landslide. But then, of course, you understand what happens in this process. And I take part of the responsibility because I came late. 2 weeks was not enough for me to put
it is very common in Uganda for politicians to say, I won, but somebody else was announced. And personally, on my platforms, I've given them a chance to prove. Did you have figures that substantiated the victory you believe you took? What did you take?
I had won by over 10,000. And if you want, only that at this point, we closed that chapter.
Yes.
Everybody in Oyam knows that I had won, and I know. And even the minister herself knows that I was the one that won. And by the way, I can also tell you that the minister left Oyam. The people actually campaigned for me. They nominated me in absentia, and they campaigned for me in absentia. And then I just showed up just to say thank you very much. But I'm telling you, the spirit, the desire for change, the message that I preach. I was campaigning through through phones, like recorded speeches and stuff.
Virtually?
Yes, virtually, and then through recorded speeches. But
and now that itself, in our rural Uganda, not even in northern Uganda, central or wherever, I've seen people losing elections because the villagers say you don't even have a house here. You stay in Kampala. You're ever in town. I covered an election in Zimbabwe where they said, this candidate, we even drink with him. The other one, we just see a Land Cruiser passing. He stays in Kampala and only comes here. And it is common in all our rural districts in this country. Now, you, my good friend, who flies in from the US, don't you have a shower of these blames? And isn't it going to affect you in as far as winning this election is concerned? How are you strategizing?
I can assure you, before, the reason why the people nominated me in absentia was because while in America...
How do you relate with the issues on the ground when you stay 1,000,000 kilometers away from home?
First of all, I was raised in Kamdini. I crawled on the streets of Kamdini. I sold my mangoes on the bus. I walked on foot in Kamdini. I studied with one single cloth from Kamdini Escaped.
And still stand.
I am still standing. I am still speaking for the people. The problems of the people are written on my heart. The issues that the people of Oyam South face, I faced them growing up. I sat in Kamdini Primary School barefoot on the floor. So do I know the problems of the people? It's written on my heart. It's written on my brain because it feels like it's fresh. When the LRA attacked us every now and then, I was there. I am the one that escaped with my life. So before I contested in 2020, the people asked me to do it. You know why? Because I had, up to now I still have, the natural supplements company in America. And I made sure all my ingredients, the local trees you see out here, I bought them from the people. I paid the people 10,000 shillings per kilogram of a bark. I paid them 10,000 per kilogram of a root of a tree. I paid them 10,000 per basin of a dry leaf. I had already done so much in the community that you stand and people say, oh, that house you see there, it's because of Queen Dorothy. That motorcycle I've bought is because of Queen Dorothy. I have a legacy. I was already doing a lot for the people. And because I prefer, if I make money, I was exporting all these products to America in large containers. I buy from the people highly. I don't give them little money because they're my investors. They're my suppliers.
They're
So
your own.
My own. So I buy from them. You know the plants that I'm buying, like Obalechot, Bridelia ferruginea. It's just a wild plant. But go get me the bark. I'm going to pay you 10,000 per kilogram. When you see people lined up, the testimonies are there among the people. So anyone who comes and says, oh, Queen is in America, me being in America is helping the people more than the people that are actually in Oyam or in Kampala. Because I am using the market. I am a premium, actually an elite buyer on Alibaba. On Alibaba, I have bought worth, goods more than $1 million. So I am an elite buyer. I know. I am actually helping the people of Oyam when elected and exposing them.
So you are a girl from Oyam?
Grew up in Oyam.
An Oyam girl, 100%. Who only stays in the U.S. but belongs?
Belongs to the people of Oyam. And everything I do,
Perfectly
I
understood.
dream about Oyam. When you hear that something is going on, for example, when I came back on the 18th of October, nobody realized my structures on the ground was a magma, all right? So when they had that Queen Dorothy is coming back, and the people were expecting what's going on, she doesn't have anybody. I already had people coming from villages, 10 to 20 people from each of the 449 villages in Oyam. They came to welcome me on that day. Every one of them on a truck. The trucks were filled. It was like 8 kilometers. You are already in Kamdini Primary, you still can't see the end of the people. Because that is the kind of support I have. I am the Queen of Oyam. I have been waiting for this moment. I waited for this moment to win this race with a landslide for over 15 years. So you know what? Money is not going to be enough to win it. Speeches will not be enough to win it. It will take a queen. It will take someone that has done a lot in the community. Yes, of course, money is a necessity because you cannot really do it without the money. Whether people say it, but I'm telling you today, money is not going to buy a voter. You know why? In 2020, when I won, I didn't buy the voters. I didn't spread the money. I didn't give money in the evening.
Why was your victory taken?
Because the victory was taken from the Electoral Commission.
Not from the people?
Not from the people.
Okay, I get it.
The people voted.
Gave it to you.
Every morning. No, on that morning, everybody that woke up, they came back and said, I voted for Queen Dorothy. I voted for Queen Dorothy, household to household. But because I wasn't having enough time to protect the votes, because you still need to make sure you have everybody at the ballot station. You need to have the protection of the votes. That is how I lost, because I never protected the votes. But this time I'm ready. So when people say money is going to buy, I have the money. I do. If they think money is going to buy it, no, they're going to be awoken. They're going to wake up and realize that whatever I'm saying today on this television show will come to pass. Being on the ground, they're just orphans. So no, the person that's going to be on the ballot that everybody should be afraid of is Queen Dorothy Oyam, the Queen of Oyam.
What would be your message as we wind up to your voter in Oyam and those who think it wouldn't be you? still in Oyam.
So those who think it wouldn't be me are entitled to their opinion.
But they could be voters. Don't you need them?
Those who already think it's not going to be me, they already decided it's not going to be me, so they're not voting for me. And so, no, I'm not going to waste the message speaking to them.
Okay.
Though, I can assure them it's definitely going to be me. And if they miss the chance of jumping on this bus with me, they're definitely missing on the chance of having accountability, having me accountable directly to them, where they have the opportunity to call me and demand. Now, to the people of Oyam, as they know, I have not decided to tell you what I'm going to do for you. I want you to tell me what you want me to do for you. I am tailoring this campaign to the common person. I want to hear from the common person. I want the common person to tell me exactly what they want me to do. Because for so long, for over 60 years, no one has bothered to ask a person in Oyam what it is that they want.
Okay, not only in Oyam.
In the entire country.
Yeah, people just think for the voters.
But I'm doing it.
You're coming in with an idea for the voter to say what they think they want.
And that is exactly what I want to do. That is where the memorandum is going to be formed. That is when the agreement has done Northern Uganda and Lango sub-region a favor.
Wow.
Because I am not only going to represent the people of Oyam South. I'm taking with me the people of Oyam District. Because the problems of Oyam District are the same problems of Oyam North and Oyam South. And I'm going to take under my wings the people of Lango sub-region. Because we have also been abandoned. There is no proper leadership, no proper guidance. So I'm going to say, when I speak for Oyam District,
but the whole Lango
but
region.
the whole of Lango.
Will you do
volunteering.
that? Will you carry this on your shoulder or mobilize fellow leaders and work together?
We're going to work together, but I'm going to lead. I am tired of being led by people who don't know exactly where they're leading us, where they're taking us. So I want to be at the leader.
With that belief, won't your fellow leaders fear to work with you?
They should follow. They should come together on the table. But for now, the fellow leaders that have been in place, they can show what they've done. And I'm not afraid to say it. No, our leaders have failed. Since the leaders have failed the people, someone that thinks they can lead should raise their hand. And I'm saying, I, Queen Dorothy Amolo, I promise to lead Lango towards development. And that is what I'm going to do. I'm calling upon the leaders. Please join me. Let's do this together. Please, I'm not going to follow the leaders to lead Lango because for the past 20 years, no, they have not done a good job. We're just saying we need to change the leadership, and I'm going to be the spearheading person.
Thank you so much. We wish you all the best. I love the confidence you're coming in with. I can't wait to come with these cameras